I was talking to a friend of mine about confidence and, understanding, I guess, worth, and I think it's important that people understand their value, you know, because if you don't know what you're worth, then people can manipulate you, usurp your emotions, cause you to try to seek acceptance, in certain groups of people with certain things that we shouldn't try to seek acceptance in. I was telling my friend that it was important for him to know, the value of himself, what he's worth, to this society, being accepted and being able to look himself in the mirror, and I say that to anybody out there. It's important for you to know your value and to find acceptance in yourself, regardless of who you are, regardless of what you're about, because so many times in this world we feel the need to conform and, capitulate to, other people's views of who we think we should be. And I tell anybody out there, you have to be happy with yourself, before, you can even begin to think about happiness or acceptance or trying to fit in anywhere else. Because like I was telling my friend, you can conform to society, but you conform so much that you begin to not recognize yourself when you look in the mirror. You don't know who you are anymore, because you're so busy trying to please everybody else, worrying about how, folks say you should dress, what you should eat, where you should live, what type of job you should work, the thoughts you should think, the things you should check out online or on television for those that still watch television. And I think it's important to know the value of yourself, to know what you're worth to yourself, to find happiness in yourself and your purpose and what you do. If this makes any sense, hopefully this makes sense. But like I was telling my friend, it's important to know who you are. Because like I was taught, when you know who you are, then folks can't control you and manipulate you and just lead you astray any old which your type of way. Influences come, emotions can't get manipulated, but the thing is to always be cognizant of who we are, to be conscious of who we are to ourselves, to accept ourselves, to love ourselves, something I had to learn, before you can love anybody else or worry about acceptance with anybody. You have to love yourself. You have to know yourself, and how you begin to know yourself is to find out what makes you unique and what makes you special, and find out what you like and how you like to dress and who you want to love and where you want to live and things of that nature, if you can. If you live in an oppressed society, then that's another, whole other issue, just the fight for freedom. And those folks, my prayers, my heart goes out to you, fighting for human rights all around the world and things of that nature, which you go through. But not to get preachy and get too long-winded with this, I think it's important for folks to know who they are first, to love yourself, to appreciate you for who you are. It's hard. It's not about appreciating others first. You want to appreciate others, but I can't appreciate you or who you are at the end of this if I don't appreciate myself. I can't love you if I don't love myself. I can't find value in the other person if I don't find value in myself. I have to know what I'm worth before I can begin to even gather and see or imagine what other people are worth, in this world, and that has its place. But self-worth is important. Knowing what things value, is important. But having value, having worth within yourself is important. And a lot of people I find in this world don't. They may not know who they're worth. What they're worth. And I say to anybody out there, we're all worth something. The question is, what are we worth? And are we willing to know who we truly are, what we're truly worth, and developing our skills and our talents, to become, the best that we can be, not to get too generic. And you do that by finding, hobbies or talents you're gifted at, the things that inspired you as a child, the things that you were taught to forget about because, you know, we're so caught up in becoming adults. We're so caught up in our stature and our status and, you know, who we should pretend to be, you know, so people could accept us. Forget all that. Who are you when you're not trying to be accepted? What makes you special when it doesn't matter what the world thinks about you? That's what I encourage and explore with myself. And I tell you folks out there, you know, wherever you may be listening to, find out what you're worth when nobody else is watching, when nobody else is looking. Figure out who you are and what makes you special for yourself. You'd be surprised at the results. Take care.